Hey guys, it's Spacey Sins, and we are back with more Piofiore 1926. Just continuing Gilbert's story in chapter 3, and he's basically telling Eugene to get fucked somewhere. And we're here in the lounge with Oliver. So anyway, a short while later, Oliver returned with some coffee, and we chatted to pass the time. Of course, after a while, he expressed his regrets that he needed to get back to work. I thought about Gil as I awaited his return. He seemed upset in the same way as when he came to meet me at the church. Stop it. My bird, sorry.
Hey, Signorina. I'll stop inside the church for a spell. Why don't you get your things and I'll be out in a sec?
He was acting strange back then, too. But he was his usual self shortly after, so I didn't think too much about it.
Sorry. I've kept you.
It's all right. Has your guest already left? Maybe it was just me, but Gil's expression looked even more disturbed than before. Gil hesitated for a moment, but seemed to make up his mind about something.
A while back, a guy named... He's gonna tell us! A while back, a guy named Eugene, my father, came to town. That was my guess just now. You're like, so Eugene is your father!
Yeah, we've met. Gil scratched his head as though he didn't want to talk, but continued regardless. I mean, I think it's important that you tell your girlfriend... Actually, you know what? I was just thinking that was a jacket slung up. No, it's actually a motherfucking cape. There are no sleeves on that shit. He's actually wearing a fucking cape. God damn. God damn the flair on this motherfucker. I appreciate it. Anyway. Yeah.
I've been working with the guys down in Chicago a lot recently. One of them told me they had another Redford working for them. I had Oliver look into it just in case, and bingo. That's when I learned he was still alive.
Okay, so he thought his dad was dead. Alright, okay, fair.
I had no intention of seeing him, but he came groveling to me for money. Unbelievable, huh?
That's so... I felt more conflicted than ever before. I had no doubt that what Gil told me about his father was the truth, but if it was the same man I met before... I love how they did that. He was like, yeah, my dad's dead. And then they're like, we should add his father. We said his dad was dead. Well, how about he thinks his dad's dead, but he's really not?
Okay. But still, I mean, I just think it's funny that fucking Eugene's his dad. I mean...
Anyway, if it was the same man I met before, he really didn't look like a bad person.
No, wait. You met him? Eugene?
Yes, well, he saved me a while ago when someone was bothering me out in town. But I had no idea back then he was your father.
He's like, how the hell do you know that?
Well, he stopped by last night. Gil stared at me very seriously and spoke in a firm voice.
Listen up, Space. Don't get involved with him. The moment he finds out you're with me, he's gonna try and use you for his own ends.
Kind of already did. I looked back at Gil for a moment, tell him, why don't you hear him out? I understand. I feel like I understand is the right answer. Okay, like, normal relationship. Why don't you try to hear him out? Because I don't want to. Okay, cool, fine. I understand. No, I don't want to say pushing that line, but maybe suggesting like, well, why don't you want to hear him out? Is there an issue? Like, bringing that up because, you know, sometimes people can make amends with people they've had arguments with. And, like, you can't just always, if someone's like, I don't want to, be like, okay. You know, especially, like, with children and shit. You can't, even with adults, you can't always just let everybody say no. And, I mean, yes, no means no. But you know what I mean? Like, there are certain things where it's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with it. You don't want to deal with it, but you kind of have to. Or in this case, why don't you try talking to him? Isn't unreasonable to say to anybody, but your boyfriend's in the mafia? So, like, I understand is the right fucking answer. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain times where, you know, in certain situations, why don't you hear him out? And I understand. Two totally different fucking things, different situations. In this situation, Gil is very much like, he will try to use you for his own good. Do not fucking get involved with him. Okay, he's very adamant about this. And from what we've seen as we've played this, he's very much like, fuck off, Eugene. You know what I mean? So I understand is the good place to be. If Gil had been told, oh, my mom told me my father died and now I found out he's alive and I don't know what's going on. Well, why don't you talk to him then? That's the right, if he seemed very like, I don't know what to think and I'm like questioning and I'm unsure. Totally. He is very sure he does not want anything to do with Eugene. So I understand. She's probably going to go with but why don't you hear him out? Girl, you can't fix everybody's problems. In this case, in this instant, that suggestion, not flying for me. I'm 100% on the I understand. Oh, thank fucking God. I understand is the right one. Okay. I understand. Gil breathed a sigh of relief hearing my reply. Again, also, man's in the mafia. We do what he says. I know my place. We do what he says. Me, I have a little more balls than this girl, but this girl doesn't have. Girl, sit in the corner and keep your mouth shut. But you haven't seen him since you were a child, right? Do you want to talk to?
Sorry, but I got nothing else to say to him.
Gil's stern expression made me stop myself from pressing any further, and this also. Are you sure you? Okay. All right. I knew to some extent that Gil didn't want to talk about his father, but it was clear now that he wanted nothing to do with him at all. Gil's relationship with his father was much more complicated than I thought. After looking away from me for a moment, Gil turned back to me with a weak smile.
Sorry, but do you mind if we postpone our date?
At a loss for words, all I could do was nod silently in response. Gil let out another deep sigh, then turned and left the room. Getting a after story, because, I found myself alone in the lounge once more! I didn't think it was going to autoplay, but Indignant is autoplaying. Okay. That's it. Okay, I'm scrolling up. That's the only one that's autoplay. Anyway. What's Chipal? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but whatever that is! Terminology. Italian slang used to express annoyance. Motherfucker! That's the American way to express annoyance. Okay. No way to laugh my way out of this one. I couldn't let my men see me like this. Or her, for that matter. Chipale. Is it Chipale? That sounds sort of Italian-esque. Good enough. I went back to my room when suddenly the smell of Eugene's cologne drifted past me. I opened my window to air out the room. Took in a deep breath, hoping it'd calm me down. No luck, as I still couldn't think straight. Couldn't shake it off for some reason. Just when I'm getting ready to leave for Chicago. Of all the piss-poor times, he had to bring a heap of trouble to me and mine. It's getting harder to suppress my anger, especially if they find out he's a Redford. They're gonna think he's related to you, and you're like, whoa, 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 Redford is like Smith in America. Just pretend. So, you met her in town, did he? Possible he knows she's connected to me. You're too risky to chalk it up to coincidence. Honestly, I feel like we should have been honest with Gilbert, and he would have been like, he'll start to use you. I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. I ran into him once randomly in town, and, just seemed like a coincidence, but he also showed up here at the house last night looking for you. So I'm pretty sure he's made the logical assumption that I'm your girl Friday. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And Friday through Sunday. Sometimes Monday through Thursday as well, but, More than that, the thought of him talking to her is just too much. Yeah, because have you met your father? He's kind of a whore. He's trying to pick up chicks young enough to be his daughter. I knew very well the source of my anger was coming from jealousy. Then again, I couldn't seem to control my emotions when it came to him. I need to get a hold of myself. Getting some fresh air should do the trick. Time for me to take a walk. I'm not going to read that again because we'll read it as soon as we come back from Unlucky. So anyway. Others, Eugene. I don't know who others is, so I'm just going to read it normal because I'm not sure who this is. I've been staking out crowded places for the past few days, but kept coming back empty. Oh. This sounds like a Gilbert thing to be saying. Come on, Mom. What the heck was so great about Dad anyway? He was a good guy. People wouldn't be after him like this. Damn it. Why'd this have to happen to me? This was beyond depressing. I didn't want to come to Italy, you know. I was seasick the whole freaking way. But I didn't have a choice. If I refused, I'd have been killed and tossed in some back alley dumpster. They stuck all their problems on me for pennies and rushed me out of Chicago. Okay, it says others, so I don't think it's Eugene, but at the same time... Does Gil have a brother? Because remember the other guy that Eugene saw quickly was like, oh, and we saw him quick? I feel like this is him. That's why it's question marks. You know what I mean? Because Eugene made a comment about, we saw him briefly quickly, you know, and he was like, oh, glad I didn't go that way. And so it sounded like he came after him from Chicago. So I feel like this is that character. But it's interesting. Okay, so I'd been staking out crowded places for the past few days, but kept coming up empty. This is his thought process. What the heck was so great about Dad? If he was a good guy, people wouldn't be after him like this. Why'd this have happened to me? This was depressing. I didn't want to come to Italy. I was seasick the whole freaking way, but didn't have a choice. If I refused, I would have been killed and tossed in some back alley dumpster. They stuck all their problems on me for pennies and rushed me out of Chicago. But it's funny because this almost sounds like Eugene's thought process as well. So it's very strange. I didn't have any time to prepare for the trip. No money, no drugs, nothing at all. Okay, so this seems to me... Okay, no drugs is the other guy. Why am I always the one given the short end of the stick? I want to go home already. I used the last of it this morning. I dug my hand into my empty pockets. I was really out of luck yesterday. I was able to get some money, but I wasn't able to get high. Nah, that was probably lucky for me. I mean, I did get money. I'd better find a dealer soon or else. Just a little longer. First, kill Eugene and get back the heroin. Finish the job, get promoted. Okay, this is the guy chasing Eugene. All right, absolutely. It was the shittiest job I ever had, but if I did it right, I'd be on the right track to riches. We don't really... we saw him quickly, so like without a sprite, I'm not exactly sure the voice we want to give him, so I just read it normal because one, I didn't know until partway through. I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's him. We also haven't really seen him. I'm pretty sure if I went to the main guide page, he's got a sprite, and I've, like, you know what I mean, to scroll down so I could have looked, but, like, we weren't sure till halfway through, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're fine. I found myself alone in the lounge once more. I took a sip of the coffee that Oliver brewed for me earlier. It had already gone cold. Yeah, but iced coffee's awesome. Iced coffee's my favorite. I brew a giant pot of coffee and I put it in a pitcher and I stick it in my fridge. With very little to do in the lounge by myself, I decided to do a bit more reading. As I yawned, I noticed the light from the sunset shining into the room. Ready? So concentrated, I didn't even realize how late it had gotten. Thanks to my book, I was able to keep my mind off all the things that were bothering me. I should apologize to Gil for getting in the middle of what happened yesterday. It was then that the door to the lounge opened. Hey, sis! Coming in! Sorry to bother you. In came Luca and Orlok. What brings you two here today? Are you... I ran into Gil and Orlok in town earlier today, and he invited us both to dinner. Oh, is that so? Yes, Gilbert mentioned he had work to do, but he asked us to let you know that he'll be returning before midnight. Look at Orlok's adorable face. Like, he's too sweet, and he has such a sweet little face, so, like, I can't love him. I love him, but I can't, like, love him. You know what I mean? Like, he's too adorable, but, like, I want to adopt him, and I have no mother instinct, but he's like an adorable puppy, or, like, an adorable kitten or something. Like, I just want to adopt it, and I just want to pet him. just want to pet his little head. Tell him he's a good boy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But, like, he's looking at me so adorable. Stop it.
Come on, it'll be fun, even without Gil around. We'll stay here with you till he gets back so you won't be lonely or anything.
Thank you, Luca. I smiled with gratitude. I appreciated how considerate Gil was for asking them to notify me of his return. I'll apologize and talk to him as soon as he's back. Inviting the two of them here must have been Gil's way of looking out for me as well. Warlock seemed to notice something too, but he didn't look quite sure what it was.
Warlock, you really can't read between the lines, can you? You gotta learn more about guys and girls in a relationship.
Relationship? Oh, it was strangely heartwarming to see the young Luca explaining it to Orlok. I really hate how that's how slow the text goes, and I started 10 minutes after it started. It was strangely heartwarming. It's like so fucking slow, even though I have it on the fastest. What is wrong? Jesus! If that's fast, what goddamn fucking turtle wrote that, like, did the fucking editing for that? You know what I mean? It was like, nah, that's fast. Are you crazy? Speed it up, motherfucker. Like, what the hell? I'd say it's a minor pet peeve, but it's, like, really aggravating when I can't click. And I don't want to have to click the button every time. You know what I mean? I want it to just flow normally, but I have to click the button every time, which is just, it's like the one thing that's like, negative 10 points for this game for that. It's something so stupid, but it's like the one thing. That's my pet peeve here. Anyway. Meanwhile, still where we start. I'm pretty fucking sure we read them all. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean. Ooh, Yang. Yay. Lee's voice was just whatever. Everybody's voice is just like, the main characters have a voice and the side characters really don't. They all sound the same. There's too many of them. And the standout accent we gave to Yang this time, because he really didn't have one the last time. Anyway. Found more bodies, and this time it was 2 of our soldiers. Got the snarkier, attitude-y. Like, okay, I feel like I'm putting a little attitude in it, but I know it sounds just like everything else. That's the annoying thing about it is, I'm like, yeah, they all sound slightly different, and then I listen and I'm like, am I doing voices? Because it sounds just like I'm reading it normal. Like, not qualified. Anyway.
I see. What is it, Lee? Frightened, perhaps? If the thought of facing him's too much for you, you may leave at any...
Huh?
Huh?
No. My apologies. I know very well how dangerous Yuan is. With all due honesty, I'd rather not face him, but I also don't want him as an ally either. Which is why I'm here. I have no intention of leaving the rat's nest just yet. And if it seems I'm frightened, perhaps that's because of you, Yang. You're more murderous than usual.
I hadn't.
It's like, you've got 3 dead bodies at your feet right now. Well, must really hate Yuan. And regarding the other matter...
Pressure from the
Lu Huan Hu. It's gonna take me a while to get that down. Okay, anyway.
Pressure from the Lu Huan Hu.
Yes. Similar to last year, our business with the mainland hasn't improved at all. The clients we secured from the Lao Shu have been withdrawing, and it seems as though the Lu Huan Hu have been threatening them.
The Berlone Mafia was rooted in illicit trade. It was our primary source of income. If they continued to strangle those trade routes, the Lao Shu would not survive for long.
Yay!
We got chrysanthemum tea today!
What's the matter, Lee? You look sick. I've always wanted to say this, but this place spends way too much money on food.
What are you saying, Lee? You're so funny.
We're gonna die if we don't eat. You don't know that?
Oh, should we drink rainwater? Then you do that, Lee. Let me teach you brain-dead brats something about economics. There's this thing called Engel's Law, and it's... La la la, can't hear you! An economic theory posited by a German statistician. That's a hard word. Anyway. No more! See, Lee, if you're mad about food, you should take it up with Yang instead. Yang eats the most out of all of us. And then Lee's like, forget I fucking said anything. I'm gonna get stabbed. Yang is fine. He is the leader after all.
What? No fair! Favoritism? Or are you too scared to tell him?
No. I'm simply stating it as...
Lee. I understand you must count every coin that leaves us. But are the Lao Shu's coffers so pitiful that we must go without sustenance?
Not exactly, but...
Is our victory assured if we cease all consumption of meals?
No.
Money's made to be spent. I've never had any interest in saving it.
Yang has got me down pegged. Money is made to be spent. It burns a hole when it hurts. When you put the money in your pocket, it physically hurts. You have to get rid of it as soon as possible. But like not on bills, on fun shit. Let's pay taxes. Can we not? That's not fun.
Yes, I'm well aware. Money seems to pass through your hands like it's nothing more than water. I don't mean to argue with you about the way things are being handled here, but at this rate, it won't be long before the Lao Shu goes bankrupt.
Well, then we'll just sell you. I'm sure we can get a nice price for you. You're kind of pretty.
That certainly is a likely outcome. In addition, the idea of Yuan running free to do as he likes is far more irritating. Perhaps it's time to take action.
Now I wonder who's gonna die, Yang or Yuan? Because you think Yuan, because like Yang is the main character, but obviously from the first one, they had no problem killing off our fucking main love interests in other routes. So I wouldn't really be surprised if in this they bunked off Yang, but I feel like okay. So I feel like the standard thought process, right? And not standard, but you know what I mean? The general would be, oh yeah, no, Yang's gonna have his field day, kill off Yuan, like whatever, happily ever after, because these are the after kind of stories, right? Continuations. However, based on the way the original game went, not caring about like, oh, he can kill anybody in anybody's route as long as Gil doesn't die in his own route, who cares who else dies, right? Sure. The thought process should be, oh, Yang should live, because now we're after. But actually, if they killed off Yang like in this, wouldn't that be so fucking unexpected? You'd be like, wait, what? But, what? Like, because, like, when it happens in the main game, right? You're like, oh, I can't believe you killed Nicola! I mean, we are in the Mafia, and it makes sense that some people are gonna die, and it's not his route, but like, what the fuck? But you can process that, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't like it, but it makes sense. But these are like the after stories where like, yeah, we're throwing some plot in, but it's really supposed to be fluffy romance. And then you kill Yang and it's like, wait, what? Like, I just feel like it'd be so much more unexpected because you're just expecting these like, sure, yeah, you threw in a little story, whatever, to kind of like fluff out. So it's not just romance. There's like a plot going on and it's like a cool, you know what I mean? To kind of continue the theme of the original game. You know, just to kind of pull it through, but then it's like, so, but you still don't expect any of your main love interests to die, even though it's not their route. You just don't expect that at all, and yet, like, that would be, like, the biggest bamboozle. You'd be like, wait, I should have expected this, but I didn't. So, like, if they kill Yang, I'm gonna be like, I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't think they'd actually do it. I postulated it, but, like, I was like, yeah, like, what? There's like a 1% chance they're gonna do that, come on. I'm still going to be shocked by it. It would actually be kind of brilliant, because you'd be like, what the fuck? Why? This is an after story. Aren't we done with this? Kill the new characters. We don't know if we like them yet, you know? Anyway. It was strangely heartwarming to see the young Luca explaining it to Orlok. I just couldn't hold myself back from giggling. We then had dinner and enjoyed our time together, chatting the evening away. After having dinner with Luca and Orlok, we played a game of Briscola. Briscola? That is. Oliver returned and joined us for a few rounds. Time seemed to fly more quickly than ever. Soon, it was just before midnight when the person I'd been waiting for came to visit me in my room. I'm hoping it's Gil, because I would expect that's the person you're waiting for. Oh, look at his sad eye.
Forgive me?
Gil gently took my hand and kissed the back of it. Really nothing to forgive, but I mean, are you going to beg my forgiveness? Because then, I'm really upset. It's an angry face on. Pouts. I just want to see what he's going to do to get my forgiveness. I'm not mad, but I'll pretend I am.
Don't let my emotions get the better of me. I know I was in the wrong, and it really isn't me. Are you disappointed?
Not at all. If anything, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I intruded in something very personal, even though you didn't want to discuss it.
You didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't have the courage to tell you everything. Pathetic, after all that talk from me about not keeping secrets, huh? I wanted it all to stay hidden if possible, but for the life of me, can't think of Eugene without getting that way. Not only that, talking about my childhood can be excruciating. It makes me feel weak.
Does your childhood really make you feel that way? You're like, everyone was weak as a child. The whole point of being a child, you're weak and fragile and delicate and have to be protected. Like a bunny rabbit. I mean, look at Luca. He seems pretty tough for a kid, but he got the flu and was wiped the fuck out. I'm just saying.
No, not always. Guess I just don't like my past resurfacing out of my control. Gotta admit, my life back in Chicago wasn't half bad.
Well, in that case, is there anything about your past that you don't mind sharing with me? You're like, I'll tell you about my past. I lived in the church. That's it. Gil thought about it for a moment, sitting down on my bed and extending his hand toward me. I took it and sat down beside him. I love this CG. Stop it! I love little baby Gilbert. I do not like kids. We know this, but I can't help it when I see our love interests and their little baby photos. It's so adorable. Don't know why I like it so much, but I do anyway.
When I was a kid, I made my money shining shoes. Our family needed the extra cash, so I did some things I'm not too proud of. Most kids in the neighborhood were in the same situation, so we got up to the same mischief. Still remember what it was like to live every day with a growling stomach. Shining shoes wasn't a stable source of income, but it's not like I didn't enjoy it. There are lots of things from my customers. All kinds stopped by, both good and bad. Most of them, though, were scumbags. Save one. I was always glad to see him. He tipped me more than the others and always said different things from everyone else. How to make money, how to make people move. Taught me all I needed to know about life. Gil, don't settle for a second-rate life. You've got what it takes to climb to the top. Those were good times in hindsight. Now that I'm doing business in America, I was able to find out who that person was. When you know it, he's the boss of a family down in Chicago.
Chicago must be very important to you. You've had ties to it since childhood. Isn't that where he grew up? I'm just saying.
I got work to do leading the family, so I can't just pick up and leave. But I'm thinking about moving to Chicago sooner than later.
You looked at me seriously. Who are you? I mean... Wait. Is this gonna be where we just all say goodbye? Bye, Dante. It was nice knowing you, and then we pack up and leave and move to America. I mean, I know we're with Gil and we'll go wherever he goes, but I'm gonna be sad breaking up our man harem. We already have a freaking hole in our man harem where Nicholas should be, okay? I'm just saying. Like, what the fuck? But like, I'm wondering if this is gonna be like, okay, this is where everything breaks apart. Like, we have our happy band, everyone's going good, and we're gonna buy, we're leaving. Oh, I don't want to lose our friends. I don't know why when we play these games, like, you get to be with your love interest, but when you leave all your other friends and your other love interests who on the other routes behind, it makes me sad. Because I just want us to stay a happy little man harem family, okay? That's what I want. Like, I just want us to all stay here and never leave. I feel a little sad about this. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting if that's the option that they went for. Like, okay, we're tying up all the loose ends here, and they've made it kind of seem like things are falling apart for the mafia here. So, like, pack it up and move to Chicago, because, like, I think it's a rip-roaring good time for the mafia there. Still. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway.
When the time comes, will you come with me?
Me? I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to marry me, but...
There's something I need to talk to you about later.
Later? Not now?
Right. Not until everything's set. Of course, I won't force you to come. Asking you to come with me is basically asking you to leave your hometown. There's no guarantee that work down there will go well, but... I still don't want to be separated from you. I want us to cross the ocean together. And that's my honest wish.
And you like, what the fuck? No, I'm sorry. Bye, Gil. I'm just gonna stay here by myself. I mean, we have Dante, but she's not in love with Dante. I mean, so it's not the same thing.
No. And I've been meaning to ask you for a while, but even when I found an opportunity, I couldn't seem to find the nerve.
Is he afraid we're gonna say no? Gil, I'll go anywhere. You just gotta put a ring on it. Gil gave a weak smile. I suddenly remembered last year. Gil had said something similar when he gave me that gift. Ooh, that gift. Gift. The heroine puts herself on the line for Gilbert, so he decides to give her a gift to show his appreciation. All right, let's see it. I like these little aria things that they added. It's kind of interesting.
Face was fitting in really nicely. Maybe it was her warm, friendly nature.
Although the white text on this background is really fucking hard to read when it's over the windows.
She treated everyone here with kindness and honesty, even though we were all mafia. My guys would actually come looking for her just to chat and see her beautiful smile. Can't say I blame them, but still. The fact that there was always someone around her was starting to give me a headache.
They really should have done, like, the, like, black background where, like, not full on black, but it was just a little bit darker just where the text was going to be, kind of, you know what I mean? You know how they do it? And then, like, you would just see the image fully on the left and right panel, but it would be, like, that black box, like, top to bottom in the middle. You know what I mean? And it would just be just to darken up that area. So you could still see the photo, but it would just make the text pop a little bit, because this, again, okay, seriously. Whoever decided that fast speed text was going to be fucking snail paste, F. Don't let the intern... God damn it, Tim! It was Tim, the fucking terrible intern, wasn't it? Jesus! Don't. And look, Tim's normally good in the art department, but Tim sucks if he got to do this too, because this... Who the hell looked at this and went, yeah, that's fine? This is not fine! I'm gonna go blind! Jesus! This is a little bit better, because it's a darker background. You know, it's the darker gray, so it works. Anyway.
Oliver came by my room sometime at night to hand off a bunch of documents. He was the one who took care of all the money matters, but I still had to approve everything. Speaking of which,
have you given it to her?
No, well, the timing wasn't right. I looked away uncomfortably and heard Oliver give a heavy sigh.
You can't still be saying this. Where's the Gilbert I used to know?
Not my fault. Everything I said was an excuse. With all due honesty, I was surprised myself. The old me would have thought nothing of it instead of being this cautious. Does this mean that I'm really serious? It was a tough pill to swallow, but I needed to sort out my feelings regardless. I don't want to treat this like it means nothing at all. Giving this to her in the lounge while my guys were there was out of the question. was dangerous for Space to put herself on the table, but she did it for my sake. Really fell for her right then and there. Which was why I was waiting for the right moment to show her my heartfelt thanks. It has to be when no one else is around. A place where we can talk, just the two of us. Could visit her in her room one of these nights, but that'd only make her uneasy. I wanted to avoid putting any pressure on her whatsoever. Maybe serious, but I need to give her a way out. Forgot I was supposed to be looking through the papers until I heard Oliver snickering. As for when I finally gave her my gift, it happened that day on our way back when we both took cover from the rain.
Okay, and this is a flashy-back CG. I remember this, sort of, vaguely. Gilbert said something similar when he gave me that gift. Okay. I can only assume he spent more time thinking about this than before. The trip from Berlin to Chicago wasn't a short one. Going there would mean leaving my family at the church, possibly never to see them again. She's gonna do it, come on. I knew this was his dream. I knew he'd reach for it sooner or later, but now that it was real, my response was somehow caught in my throat. Did we actually, we have save points, so we have, like, bad endings in this. One of the bad endings I'm gonna assume is us saying no and not going. Anyway. Never imagined I'd ever leave this town one day.
This is an important decision to make, so you don't need to answer me right away.
Thank you, Gil.
I've said this before, but I'm really happy you're studying for my sake. It meant that you were thinking about a future with me in the picture. Then again, it also meant you spent time alone with Oliver. I trust you, and I trust Oliver, and I'm still feeling jealous about it.
I recalled the exchange that took place. I like the fact that he's jealous of Oliver. It's because we've mentioned a million times how much we fucking love Oliver. So, sorry, bird, but can't dig under my fucking headset. It annoys me. Gil was a bit of a bully then, teasing me more than usual. Oh, Norton, go away! Jesus. Wait, you were actually jealous?
Yeah, sure was. I didn't want some other guy getting to know you better than me. I know that's pretty sad. Do you hate me now?
No, of course not. It's just, well, I think it's rather cute of you.
Cute? Me?
Yeah, you're adorable. Yes, the thought that even you could be jealous is very cute.
I get it. So you're saying I'm cute?
Gil.
Tell me, what part is cute exactly?
Gil, are you upset?
No, not at all. It's just that I never expected to be described as cute.
Are upset?
No, that's not it at all, but you really think I'm cute? Me?
Yes, I think it's very cute that you're getting so worked up about this. Gil's eyes narrowed with... Gil's eye narrowed! I read eyes automatically. Bravo, game! Gil's eyes. He only has one. But Gil's eye narrowed with what I believe to be dissatisfaction. I am so proud of that.
Well then, let's see how long you'll keep saying that.
Huh? He suddenly pushed me onto the bed. Oh dear. Get a CG of this. Because I want the first person perspective. A part of me began to regret teasing him. Really? Meanwhile stories? Meanwhile? Yep. Okay. I don't regret teasing him if this is what happens.
Lon, he went that way! Gotcha! Phew! It's so much harder capturing without killing!
It's such a pain looking for him, too.
Well, let's go take him to Yang! Time to tie him up!
Oh, that was Faye.
He died? I didn't do anything! At least I don't think so!
Don't worry, it's poison. He had it in his tooth.
So he died because he didn't want to tell us anything? Oh, but I guess Yuan would make him do something like that.
Yep, it's classic Yuan. Hey! What are you two doing there?
right now! You guys know we're with the Lao Shu, right?
Yeah, and you two know what'll happen if you do anything to us, right?
Yeah, sure. Some government guys are gonna be angry if we do anything bad. It's only gonna give you folks a reason to hit us hard. Do we care about that? Nope! Right? I knew you'd say that!
I love these two.
What the? Ah!
Too bad for you! We don't care what the big baddies want! That's right. The only person we take orders from is Yang.
I love our murder twins. Oh, I miss them. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to. I meant to skip up, but anyway. I hit the wrong button. I was like, oh, shit. I don't want to miss this. Difference. Roberto.
Told you 1,000 times before, you have to face the facts. No, that's not it at all. I know this town better than you do, and of course my values from before haven't changed. But that doesn't mean that you're right.
Interesting. Are you talking to your dad? Someone's dad? The guy? The governor guy? It was true that his carefree, playful nature was cute, but I now knew what it meant to tell him so and the lengths he'd go to prove otherwise. I love how he's like, I'm not cute, I'm manly. And you're like, oh, moaning, okay. Oh, we're waking up. Waking up. I slowly awakened. I opened my eyes to see Gil already dressed and ready to leave. God damn, you don't even get to cuddle. Good morning, Gil.
Why don't you sleep a little longer? Kept you up late last night. I don't want you to push yourself.
No, I'm fine. If you're getting up, I want to get up too. Oh my god. Why is my computer such a raging douche hole? Why will the volume not stay where I set it? I sat up and climbed out of bed.
Does that mean you'll go back to sleep if I do too?
I thought you had work to do, Gil. As I giggled, there was a knock at the door. Yes?
Sorry. Sorry to bother you, but have you seen Gil around? I'm not here.
Gil's got a call from Dante Falzone, so... well, I'll be sure to let Gil know the next time I see him.
Oh, he's like, I'm not here.
Great, I'd really appreciate it. And with that, the man's footsteps faded down the hallway. Gil, you should hurry. A call this early in the morning must mean it's important. I feel like that was a sigh moment. Gil didn't look happy at all, so I smiled and kissed him on the cheek. Now he looked shocked. Feel better now?
Absolutely. I'll be back and we can pick up where you left off.
Oh, you!
No deal, huh?
I mean, absolutely. Are you going to spend the entire day in bed with me, making me feel bad about calling you cute? Because I'll call you cute again. Gil chuckled and snuck out of the room. After his departure, I got dressed for the day. Upon my arrival at the lounge, I was greeted by an unexpected sight. I was frozen at the doorway in disbelief.
More! I want more!
Come on, more! Don't be so stingy!
Look how Oliver is like, who's sassy lost children? Why are they here? Get them away! Anyway.
No, not 1 ounce more. Having too much sugar is bad for your health.
Oliver in dad mode with Lon and Faye is really fucking weird, but I love it. Oliver was spreading strawberry and orange jam over fresh toast while being pestered by Lon and Faye. He's literally putting jam on their toast for them. He's not even like, here you go, help yourself. He's like doing it for them. He's in full-on dad mode. What the fuck? This game is so funny. I don't know why little things like this just tickle me. Or like fucking Eugene being Gilbert's dad. Just fucking Gilbert being jealous of Oliver right after I was like, well, I mean, it's Oliver and I fucking love him. And like, this game is just these tiny little moments that are just goddamn hilarious. Oh, they bring me such joy.
Morning, Spees! I'm here! To be specific, we're both here. We just came to grab some breakfast.
Lon took a bite out of her toast as Faye drank some orange juice. The two of them were enjoying breakfast, looking perfectly at home.
Yang's messengers today. He says phones can be tapped? Sounds scary. Letters take forever, too. So it's better and faster if we come instead. Well, it's not like it matters if Yuan finds out what the message is. Then again, he doesn't need to know.
I would have thought you two were kicked out for being so noisy.
How rude! Of course we weren't! Now that you mention it, Yang said he had some important deal today or something.
What's all the commotion here? What the... Did you two finally get kicked out by Yang?
Even Gilbert.
Hey! You Visconti guys are all so rude! Now, Lon, calm down.
They came with a message from Yang.
That's right. It's about the guys behind the murders. We caught one of them, but he killed himself with poison before we could question him. It's just like you wanted to make his men do stuff like that. Yang thought so, too.
I see. That explains what Yang meant when he said it'd be a waste of time nabbing Yuan's men. Let Yang know we'll be meeting tonight. It'll be all of us, so he should come too.
Okay.
Gil smiled at me after hearing Lon's reply.
Why don't we have some breakfast? You haven't eaten yet, have you?
That sounds good. We both sat down at the dining table when I suddenly heard a clamor in the hallway. There seemed to be some sort of struggle, and the sound of fighting drew closer and closer. Suddenly, the door to the lounge opened, and a strange man appeared. He is lovely. Look at him. They know him. Okay. That's not... Well, that's not Yuan. Because isn't he... Wait a minute. Isn't he the other guy? This... Or was he? I can't remember now what he looked like. Because there's two characters that have, like... You know, definitely, like... No, Didn't Yuan have, like, the scruffy kind of gray hair? Right? Or was... Oh, or is this supposed to be Yuan, and that was a different guy, and we gave him the... I don't know. But they're definitely both, like... He's new, though. I don't think we've seen him before. Oh, I clicked the button. I hit it because I was trying to see him.
Sorry, Gil! We tried to stop him, but he forced his way in!
Is he wearing, like... His coat has, like, fur collar... Like... Sassy. The man was wearing exotic Chinese attire with the sort of looks that would turn heads. I mean, yeah. But his eyes were eerily cold, as though there was no life in them. Maybe he is Yuan. I thought it was the other guy that we've seen before, but maybe we mixed up maybe Yuan was talking to him, and he's a character that we don't know his name yet? Or we just don't know who this guy is yet. I don't know. His mere presence seemed to freeze the air inside the lounge. Oh god, I'm assuming maybe he is Yuan. Oh, interesting. So then the other guy was somebody else. Well, now we've messed up voices, but also it's got to go with the character. The other guy seemed very like, well, whatever, I don't really care. Like, just kind of, right? He definitely like, I don't know.
I have a sassy French accent.
No, I'm just kidding. Also have Irish accent. I don't know. I don't have enough voices for this. There's not really anybody that looks like he would have the Lupin voice. You know what I mean? That's the only other one I got, but I can't see him having this voice. I don't know. I think we're going to go something similar to the Orlok tone, I guess. But, like, anyway, I suppose I need to introduce myself, Redford. Something like that. Or, okay, that works.
Don't bother. Got no time for a stranger to just barge in here without an invite.
Definitely seems like he'd have the sassy kind of. Gil glared at the man who seemed not to be bothered in the slightest. Okay, who are you? Gave a cold smile and spoke calmly. Oh, it is Yuan! Okay, so the other guy, Yuan was talking to him. Do we know his name? Oh, I don't know. See, I thought that was Yuan, but that makes more sense because actually that's just me being stupid. Because, like, when we're Gil and Gil's talking to Oliver, Gil doesn't have a sprite, Oliver has a sprite, but you know what I mean? But it just, That just kind of went way just away in my brain, so I wasn't really... Yeah. So the other... Okay. I'm just dumb. That's just me being stupid. So I'm sure someone's pointed that out at this point, but none of these have posted yet, so, like, what else? Anyway. I am Yuan, an associate of the Lao Shu's. Yuan. He's lovely. In, like, in a very stabby kind of way. He's not going to steal my heart from any of our love interests, but you know... This is Yuan.
You're Yuan, huh? Heard a lot about you lately. What do you want? Tell me you're looking for directions to Valeno.
I must say this town is very much like a maze. A newcomer can easily lose his way here. And I'll have some tea, thank you. He's sassy! He's sassy stabby! Yuan smiled and took a seat at the table. I like it. Gil shot a look at one of his men, who nodded in response, somewhat worriedly.
How many fucking people are dead in the hallway? 6?
He exited the lounge, presumably to get Yuan his drink. I apologize if my sudden visit gave everyone a fright. I assume you and your men expected me, given that you've been tracking my movements. There's no need to be so tense, at least for today. I simply came to have a chat with you, Redford.
Get to the point already, will ya? I happen to be busy and my breakfast is getting cold.
Here you are! With trembling hands, the soldier set down the tea in front of Yuan. The point is that I wish to get rid of the Lao Shu. Will you help me, Redford? What? Yuan glanced over at the twins as if noticing them for the first time. Don't get in my way. Begone! Lon looked pale and Faye was speechless. However, Gil spoke in a clear voice.
I'd appreciate it if you'd mind your manners, Yuan. Those two are my guests. I don't recall inviting you over in the first place. If anyone's gonna leave, it should be you.
The tension was unbearable.
Thank you, Redford, but it's okay. We don't want to interrupt. We're done anyway, so we'll just leave.
The twins stood up from their chairs.
We're gonna tell Yang, and Yang's gonna bust in here.
As Lon walked past me, she whispered in my ear,
Be careful.
Lon and Faye left through the open door. Yuan didn't even look their way once. I love his sultry, sinister face. Can we continue our conversation? Gil looked at Yuan for him to speak. Lu Huan Hu. It's gonna take me. We're gonna get to the end of the game and I'll get it right once. Anyway, the Lu Huan Hu seeks to bring down the Lao Shu due to Yang's disrespect. However, bringing our soldiers here is impractical. These types of issues are best handled quickly. For example, this would be much easier if the locals acted as our pawns to get the job done. Well, when you say it like that, I'm not into it. I mean, we weren't gonna do it anyway, right? Were we? Aren't we friends with Yang? Yuan's eyes glimmered provocatively. Gil silently glared at Yuan, who still showed no signs of being intimidated. You will be rewarded, of course. The Lu Huan Hu can assist with the Visconti's endeavors in Chicago. You know about that, too? He's starting to turn into, like, voices changing as I'm going, which is not what I meant to do anyway. I suppose calling you pawns may have been too blunt. Let me rephrase that to partners, if you prefer.
I'm surprised you got the balls to say that, especially since your men killed some of mine.
It's only natural, isn't it? Did you expect to be forgiven after the part you played in this? I'm afraid not. The Lao Shu were not the only ones who spat in our face. The Falzone and the Visconti families are also guilty. Of course, we would act accordingly. Although, in the interest of our new partnership, we will let you free if you beg for forgiveness.
That's...
Gil waved a hand to stop Oliver. Oliver sounded like Gil there for a hot second, but anyway.
And that'll get us in your good graces, eh? Somehow my gut's telling me you folks won't be satisfied with that.
Words of forgiveness mean nothing. If you truly wish to show repentance, it must be tangible. For example, with a certain... Gil's brows twitched with irritation, but Yuan continued. Ah, there you are. Yuan looked at me for the first time during his entire visit. My body went cold the moment his eyes fixed upon mine. Gil pulled me toward him protectively.
She's mine, and nothing you say will ever make me give her up to you or anyone else.
Gil's voice was strong and fearless. Hot.
No, I'll never give her up.
What if I said I wanted to break up?
Oh, okay.
I mean, but it's the whole,
fucking fight you. She's mine, goddammit.
That possessiveness is kind of hot right now. I'm into it. Yuan narrowed his eyes at Gil as if seeing something interesting. Yan Huan? I'm gonna go with that. Whatever. An ethnic group in ancient China that were said to descend from the Flame Emperor and the Yellow Emperor. They're considered to be the ancestors of the Chinese people. Anyway, descendants are bonded by blood, a meaning that going against the Lu Huanhu is akin to going against the Chinese mafia. I thought the Lu Huanhu is the Chinese mafia. Are they different now? I don't fucking know. Good God, I can't keep track. I need a fucking flowchart for this. Even so, you would swallow this poison for the sake of one woman? Gil smiled at Yuan's attempt to shake him.
You telling me to hand her over to protect the Visconti family? What a load of crap. Any guy who would trade the woman he loves doesn't deserve to be a mafia boss. If I do that, my name and honor are done for. Also, she's a person and not my property.
Maybe we should add that. I mean...
I wouldn't trade. I'd lose my honor if I traded her.
How about the fact that I'm not your property? But you know what? Whatever. Let's just go back. I mean, okay. There's that modern me, what the fuck? I'm not your property. Meanwhile, I'm also over here yeah, I like it when you get possessive about it, though. Please don't trade me. Wait. Whoa, wait. Yang might have treated me like property, but Gil, I expect a little bit better of you, but the sentiment's there, I guess. I held my breath as Yuan looked at me again with his lifeless eyes. I hear you're particularly valuable to the church. It seems the rights to this land are connected to you. I wonder if that's true. Not anymore! I steadied my eyes on him. You know the answer. ... You know the answer. That's a weird thing to say. I feel like not saying anything is good. We're just glaring at him. Not even justifying what he said. But also, you know the answer. I'm confused about you know the answer. Because I hear you're valuable to the church. Rights to this land are connected to you. I wonder if that's true. You know the answer! Which makes it sound like we're saying, yeah, come at me, bro. Which I don't think we should do. But also, we have now been told that, oh yeah, the status as the Key Maiden's, faltered or whatever. So, technically, you know the answer to that. The answer is no. I guess it could go either way, so I'm not really sure where they're going with that. I think we should just stare at him. Oh, we can create a save file too here. And then we don't glare at him intimidatingly. Okay, let's go this way. Well, that's true. We have several save files. Anyway, we are actually supposed to say, you know the answer. You know the answer already, don't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked. Yuan simply smiled eerily at my response. I looked at Gil, who nodded back as if encouraging me to continue. I decided to speak a bit more. As you've said, I did once possess value to the church. But that's no longer the case. I've already been relieved of any responsibility to them. Yuan brought the cup of tea to his smiling lips and took a sip. That he could enjoy his drink like this in enemy territory was unsettling. That's how dangerous he is. He busted his fucking way in and then walked in like, hello! Just had a mild scuffle in your entryway. They were trying to take my coat, and I refused it. Should we have given him that voice? Somebody has to have that voice. There's no other ladies in.
We got no reason to fight the Lu Huan Hu. We never knew the guy who tried to frame us was connected to you folks. Of course, I know ignorance is no excuse, which is why I was planning on making amends.
And that is difficult to believe, especially since I sense no hint of apology in your tone. I doubt you felt sorry at all in the first place.
Think you got any right to tell me that? Might I remind you that you were the one who barged in here? You'd have just as easily killed my men the moment we showed any signs of violence.
Sorry, I skipped that too fast.
Unbelievable. Seems you and Yang were cut from the same cloth.
Oh my god, are they brothers? That'd be the best. Yuan narrowed his eyes as if enjoying Gil's reaction. Gilbert Redford, I see. You're an interesting character indeed. Yuan drank the rest of his tea. I shall take my leave for today. Before I do, you did not poison my tea, did you?
Oh. Seeing as how you're still alive and kicking, seems he forgot. I'll have to scold him later. Okay, meanwhile, story's going. Seeing as how you're still alive and kicking, seems he forgot. I'll have to scold him later.
Talking. Meanwhile story. Oh, we're gonna have to watch the meanwhile story, even though we're at time, just because otherwise it might be weird when we save. I'm not sure. Because, like, you know what I mean? They always go away, and I don't want it to go away, so. Lon.
Hey, Fee! You think Yuan's gonna have the Visconti get rid of the Lao Shu?
Who knows? Yuan's pretty crazy when it comes to this kind of stuff.
In that case, what do you think will happen if they try? You think the Visconti will really do it?
Maybe. It's possible they'll side with him. They don't have any reason to help the Lao Shu.
You're right.
The Visconti's a rival mafia family. They'll do whatever's best for their own. They'll be asking themselves if it makes more sense to work with us or kill us.
But Faye, I was happy when Redford said we were his guests.
Yep, me too.
Oh, their little hearts are broken and we didn't even say we were gonna kill them.
I am quite resistant to poison, you know. Be sure to use more next time. Interesting. Do we really poison him? Yuan stood up and calmly departed the lounge as though nothing had happened.
Sorry about that. Our breakfast's practically brunch now.
In front of us were omelets, milk, brioche, and jam, but I couldn't bring myself to eat anything. It took everything in me to keep my hands from trembling while he was around. He was smiling through and through, but it felt as if one wrong move would lead to death. I tried to shake what happened from my mind and held my fork tightly to focus on our meal.
I spoke with Dante this morning. We're gonna have our own meeting at the church tonight, and I'd like for you to join.
Me? I was surprised by the unexpected invitation. You're like, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get the side story that's gonna tell me what went on, so. I had attended a few of their meetings since last year's incident, but only to lock the church doors, not to join their conversation.
First subject on the agenda is Lu Huan Hu. In a strange way, I was lucky that I was able to meet Yuan face to face. Yuan shouldn't have any reason to go after you now, but the fact is, he actually wanted me to hand you over to him. I don't want to get you involved, but you got the right to know things, same as anyone.
See, thank you, Gil. If it was something that concerned me, I'd rather know the details than remain ignorant. Gil must have come to that decision, knowing what my feelings about it would be. Feeling grateful for his thoughtfulness, I happily took a small bite of my breakfast. Okay, good. I was like, wow, I thought that scene was going to end like right after Yuan left, but anyway, we're going to stop here, and yeah. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.